Now comes the real axis of this surah, and in a way the real axis, umud, of the whole of Quran. This insight into the deen which is lacking today. لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلَنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. Verily we sent our messengers with clear signs and proofs and clear teachings. Bayyinat, something which is self-evident, doesn't need any other proof. So the miracles were also bayyinat, and the basic teachings of all the scriptures, all the books of Allah are also bayyinat. لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلَنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ وَأَنزَلْنَا مَعَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْمِيزَانَ. And we sent with them, sent down the book, the law, and the balance. Symbol of justice. What for? Most important part of this ayah. لَيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. So that the people should abide by justice. Not they should read and get sawab, and they should listen to the Qari Sahab in Taraweeh and get sawab. Is that all the purpose for which Quran was sent? Or you can read it very beautifully, and there are contests of Qiraat, Husn Qiraat. Was this the purpose for which Quran was sent? Or you write down with golden wires. What is the purpose of Quran? Beautiful calligraphy. Was this the purpose of sending down Quran? What is it? Now see, the purpose of the advent of the messengers, the purpose of the sending down of the books, purpose. It's not an exercise in futility. Allah's no action is purposeless. So all this why? Sending messengers, sending down books, giving law and the balance. What for? لَيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ. So that justice should be established and people should abide by justice. Now you know where there is injustice. There are two classes, the exploiters and the exploited. The oppressors and the oppressed. The downtrodden and the haughty. Will these exploiters or oppressors or the haughty ever like that the system of justice be established? Will they be ready to lose their all the whatever they have in this wrong system? Privileges? No. They are bound to resist. There will be some whose arwah and quloob are salim and safe. They will listen to your call and come to you. But not most of them. Most of the exploiters, oppressors, they will resist. They are bound to resist. They will say, gird up your loins, come on, stand up to protect your interests and your privileges. So there is going down, there will definitely going to be a conflict, and for that, وَأَنزَلْنَا الْحَدِيدِ, we have sent down iron. فِيهِ بَأْسٌ شَدِيدٌ. In this iron is the capability of fighting, battle, weaponry, the sword and spears. وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ. There are other benefits for people also. Utensils or something or articles of use you can make. But actually this is, there is a view that iron and its compounds, they don't belong to this earth originally. They have come from space as meteorites. Anzalna al-Hadid. We have sent down Hadid. if that theory is correct, then this word would shine, like anything. The Quran used this word for hadith, anzalna al-hadith. We sent down hadith. If this is true, I'm not very sure. But I have heard this, that this view is there, that this iron and its compounds, they are not from this earth, they are from this space. As meteorites, they have come. So now this is وَأَنزَلْنَا الْحَدِيدِ, and we have sent down iron, فِيهِ بَأْسٌ شَدِيدٌ, in which there is a very powerful capability of fighting and going to battle. وَلَيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ مَنْ يَنْصُرُهُ وَرُسُلَهُ بِالْغَيْبِ, and so that Allah wants to know, wants to see who are those faithful servants of His who take this iron in hand and crush the heads of those who resist the establishment of the system of justice. And the system of justice is Islam. Inna Deena Inda Allahi Islam. The Al-Haq, the total justice is Allah. Al-Adl. He is the justice. Al-Adl is one of the names. Only He can give you the just politico-socio-economic order. He is neither male nor female. So He can look to the interests of both, males and females. A male cannot imagine the feelings of a female. A female cannot have, the understanding of the feelings of the male. Capital would look for its own benefits. Labor, it will strive for its own benefits. Rulers will wish to have more and more and more and more authority. And the people should want to have more and more and more and more freedom. We want to go on the streets naked. Who are you to stop us? Freedom. We want homosexuality. We are gays. Who are you to criticize? But the balance of justice between all these extremes, that is the Deen al-Haq. To establish the Deen of Haq, those who are faithful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have to be ready to come to the battlefield with the iron in their hand to crush the heads of those who resist. They don't want to let the Deen of Allah established. Inna Allaha qawiyyun aziz. Verily, Allah is Himself very powerful. He could do it in no time. But then, how would those who say we are believers, how will they be tested? It's only for your testing. Otherwise, in no time, kun fayakun, one command from Him is sufficient. This whole system of falsehood will vanish like anything, and the system of justice will be established. Al-Qawi, Al-Aziz, Inna Allaha Qawiyyun Aziz. He is powerful, He has all the authority. He can do it in no time. But it's a test for you. Who are those faithful servants of Allah who devote their lives, ready to spend their lives and all belongings to the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to establish the system of justice which He gave to humanity through His messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah give us the courage to join this group, to be one of them, to make a resolve that we have to live for this and die for this.
Indeed, we sent our messengers with clear signs, and sent down with them the book and the balance that people may uphold justice. And we sent down iron, wherein is great military might and many benefits for people, so that Allah may know who, without even having seen Him, helps Him and His messengers. Surely Allah is most strong, most mighty. Indeed, we sent our messengers with clear signs, and sent down with them the book and the balance that people may uphold justice.
In this brief sentence, the whole essence of the mission of the prophets has been compressed, which one should clearly understand. It says that all the messengers who came to the world from Allah brought three things: Bayinat, manifest signs which clearly showed that they were really Allah's messengers, and were not impostors; convincing arguments which made it evident that what they were presenting as truth was really the truth, and what they condemned as falsehood was really falsehood. Clear instructions which told without any ambiguity what was the right way for the people in respect of beliefs, morals, acts of worship and dealings, which they should adopt, and what were the wrong ways which they should shun and avoid. Kitab, the book which contained all the teachings required for the guidance of man so that people may turn to it for enlightenment. Mizan, the criterion of truth and falsehood which may precisely indicate, like a balance, the golden mean between two extremes in matters of thought, morals and dealings. The purpose for which the prophets were sent with these three things was that man's conduct in the world and the system of human life, individually as well as collectively, should be established with justice. On one hand, every man should precisely know the rights of God, the rights of himself and the rights of all those people with whom he may have to deal in any way, and should fulfill them faithfully. And on the other hand, the system of collective life should be built on such principles as should eliminate every kind of injustice from society, should safeguard every aspect of civilization and social life against extremism, should establish correct balance and equity in all spheres of collective life, so that all elements of society should receive their rights equitably and fulfill their obligations and duties responsibly. In other words, the purpose of sending the prophets was to establish individual as well as collective justice. They wanted to establish justice in the personal life of each individual so as to bring about poise and equilibrium in his mind, his character, his conduct and his dealings. They also wanted to establish the whole system of human society on justice so that both the individual and the society should assist and cooperate with each other in their spiritual, moral and material well-being instead of being a hindrance and obstacle.
And we sent down iron, wherein is great military might and many benefits for people.
Sending down iron means creating iron in the earth, just as in Surah Zumar, verse 6, it has been said, He sent down for you 8 heads of cattle, male and female. As whatever exists in the earth, has come here by Allah's command, and has not appeared by itself. Its being created has been expressed in the Quran as its being sent down. The mention of sending down iron, which has great strength and other benefits for men, immediately after stating the purpose of the mission of the prophets by itself indicates that by iron here is meant political and military power. Thus the verse means, Allah did not raise his prophets in the world just to present a scheme for the establishment of justice, but it was also a part of their mission to endeavor to enforce it practically, to collect necessary power to establish justice in all spheres of life, to punish those who might disrupt it and to break the power of those who might resist it.
So that Allah may know who, without even having seen him, helps him and his messengers. Surely Allah is most strong, most mighty.
That is, Allah does not need this help because he is neither weak nor cannot use his power to accomplish this work, but he has adopted this method for the trial of men. Man can advance on the way of his progress and well-being only by passing through this trial. Allah indeed has the power to subdue all the disbelievers by one command whenever he wills and give to his messengers complete dominance over them, but in that case the believers and the messengers would have nothing to do for which they should become entitled to rewards. That is why Allah, instead of accomplishing this mission through his dominant power, adopted the method of sending his messengers to human beings with the signs and the book and the criterion, and enjoined them to present the way of justice before the people and exhort them to refrain and desist from wickedness, sad injustice. At the same time, he gave us full option to accept the message of the messengers or to reject it. He summoned those who accepted the invitation to come forward and help him and his messengers to establish justice, and to exert their utmost against those who were bent upon retaining the unjust system. Thus, Allah wants to see who among us reject the invitation to justice, who exert with their lives in order to retain injustice as against justice, who neglect supporting struggling for the cause of the message of justice after they have accepted it, and who stake their lives and their possessions for the sake of unseen God to help the truth become dominant in the world. Only for those who emerge successful in this test will avenues to future progress be opened up.
لَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا رُسُلَنَا بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ. We no doubt already sent our messengers with the clearest proofs. وَأَنزَلْنَا مَعَهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْمِيزَانِ. And we sent down with them the book and the scale. Now the book, you can argue, is the religious teaching. The scale is the principles of justice. In every single society in the world, in the court system, what image is there always? The scale. The scale is the universal, historical, classical symbol of justice. So on the one hand, there's the religious doctrine, Al-Kitab. On the other hand, there is the principles of justice that messengers were sent with. وَالْمِيزَانِ لِيَقُومَ النَّاسُ بِالْقِسْطِ, so that people could stand upright with justice, with fairness. So we're learning that people that don't adhere to religious teachings can't be part of a just society. Because at the end of the day, society is made up of citizens. And the individual citizen will not be fair until they hold on to the book. And when the individual holds on to the book, the society will hold on to the mizan, the scale, meaning proper justice. وَأَنزَلْنَا الْحَدِيدِ, and we sent iron down. فِيهِ بَأْسٌ شَدِيدٌ, in which there is intense means of war. This is actually one of the most explicit ayat in the Qur'an about the mission of the Prophet ﷺ, and Allah telling His Messenger ﷺ, you in particular, have not just been given a book, you've been given justice. And by the way, I didn't just send down a book, I've also sent down iron. What does iron have to do with anything? Allah says, let me tell you what it has to do with something. I'll tell you what iron is used for. فِيهِ بَأْسٌ شَدِيدٌ. It's got means of intense war. To establish justice in Arabia, you might also need what? War. You, messenger, should recognize that this is also a gift from me. This metal is also a gift from me, that you will build your swords with, that you'll build your shields with, that you will engage in war with, because that's required. That was required absolutely for our Messenger ﷺ, because if he doesn't establish justice in that society, then humanity will never have a model. They'll never know what that looks like. They'll just be a theory. Then the Qur'an is just another book of theory about theoretical ideas about justice that have never been actually witnessed in society. Then you could argue it's just as theoretical as Plato's Republic. But no, we sent iron down, in which there is means of intense war. وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ, and it's got other benefits for people, meaning once the war is over, then you don't just use metal to make war.